Hey guys, I am Xoan. This is Gamers Oasis. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to do some downtime activities here. I'm going to try and break this up into two videos. We'll see how long this goes. I'm going to be doing both a before the game started type of downtime so that these characters have a little bit of a history in their starting areas. So we're going to start real quick with Osgar and with Brith, who both started in Brigton's Rest. These characters are going to go ahead and have a little bit of a history and allies and this type of stuff from there. Then they will decide where they want to go and do that type of stuff. Now, I'm going to probably do a whole video talking about allies and rivals and this type of stuff. Effectively, think of them as like special coins. These special coins can be used in a particular situation to gain advantage or some sort of improvement on the situation, or disadvantage, or to make it more difficult to get in the way of a particular situation because they're rivals. They're not necessarily chaotic, evil, or anything of that nature, or even neutral. It could be two people that are lawful who just don't get along that might step in the way of the other one just because they don't like the other person that much. Or they don't understand him, or they mistrust him, or whatever the situation might be. They're not all retainers of the villain, shall we say. Now, that could happen. I don't want to exclude that, but I do think it'd be important to say there's more to it than that. All right, let's go ahead and get in some dice, though. Alright guys, so we're working a little bit on our setup, and when I got my dice in, I didn't get 2d6 like I was hoping. It gave me one less dice, and it was supposed to give me 2d6, so we're going to have to roll that one twice a little bit, or I'm going to have to use like these blue dice. I'll probably do that just because they're easily to be seen versus roll that d6. Alright, so I got some oversized dice to make it hopefully easier to read, though the white and the black with the gold doesn't work. So give me a second. I don't know if that's any better. Alright, we're going to just put this here for a little bit less glare and maybe a little bit easier to see. I'm going to turn an overhead light on too. Okay, so that's better. Now we got the lights the way we need it and everything. Let's go ahead and get into this. So let's go ahead and get into what they have going on. There are rivals and allies and activities, kind of is the way I'm looking at it. And well, actually, there's rivals, neutral parties, and allies. So rivals generally just stay rivals. Very rarely can you ever convince a rival to never be a rival. They might become a neutral party and then move on with their life, and you've removed it as an obstacle. But you're never going to get it to be like an ally. But allies typically fall into neutral parties all the time. Because they get spent, essentially. And then you have to earn them back as allies, which is by doing activities and whatnot, like the carousing and that type of stuff with them. But let's go ahead and get into how many each one has. So we're going to do a charisma check. Okay, so Osgar over here has a charisma modifier of has a charisma of 13. So here's for my d20 roll. If I succeed, then I get +1 on the rival table to see what that is. And then if I succeed by a certain amount, I get +2. And if I succeed by an astronomical amount, which I can do it by 10 or more, I get +3. Now, you basically are going to get 2 rivals. The idea is you hope to get 1 rival and 1 ally, but that doesn't necessarily mean so. I'm willing to bet that Brith's probably going to get 2 rivals just because that's the way his life is. So here is for the charisma check. All right, so we have an 8. That means we've made it. We've made it by less than 5, so we're going to get +1 on this roll. Now we're going to roll 2d6. We're going to add +1. If I roll low, I get a rival. I roll again. If I roll high, then I get an ally. Roll again. All right. And in the middle is just a potentially neutral interaction or a neutral party. So we have a 9. +1, we didn't need it, is 10. We have an ally. We're going to go ahead and do a charisma check for the next one. We got 5. That means we get +2 in this roll. And that is 7 +2 is 9. So we end up with Osgar getting 2 allies. That's actually pretty important. No rivals, just allies. So an ally is a rival just spun in the reverse direction. So we're going to roll 2d8. So we have a 6 and we have an 8, bring it to a 14. So if this was a rival, it'd be an exiled noble looking for revenge. In this case, we have an exiled noble that wants to aid. So I'm going to go ahead and type this out real quick. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll for the second one. 6 and 5 is 11. This is a newcomer in competition with the PC. If it's a rival in this case, it's a newcomer that is looking to seek the aid of the NPC or the PC. Okay, so you notice here that I keep putting a few pound signs and then a number. That's because I'm not defining the name of this person. This is a person that I will figure out in the game as we play it. This is kind of the randomness, the oracle side of things. I have these in here. I'll go ahead and get when we go to use this or to go to I need to put the 10 that they're in too. So this is going to be in Brigton's Rest, because where it is important. But when you go back to Brigton's Rest and I want to find out who this person is, I need to start rolling, because I don't know if my ally is going to be helpful until I go there and do this thing, unless I know who the ally already is. So if I go to Brigton's Rest later in this, what I'm doing right now, we can figure out who these people are, or I can do this in a future downtime to figure out who it is. Now, the question I need to ask is, let me go ahead and get my dice out, my oracle dice out. Am I going to try and get my background done here in Crestwood, the city, or am I going to go back to Brigton's Rest? So, am I going to stay in Crestwood? No. Am I going to go to Brigton's Rest? No. Am I going to go to Haverford, since I've dealt with people that are from Haverford? Maybe. Okay, we're going to take this as a potential. So I'm going to do a small list of people or places, because we have, well, I don't even need to do a small list. I have really 2. So I've heard of Haverford and I've heard of Willowsdale. I've been to both those places. Having people in both those places that could be, or gain some background there, would be good. So I'm going to do 4, 5, or 6 is Willowsdale, the place where the Hallowed Oak Dungeon is near. Or I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go meet with my party members' home area and get a chance to learn about those people over there and maybe have some downtime with them. So we're going to go to Haverford. Okay, so we're going to go to Haverford. Now, what kind of activities are we going to do? We have carousing, which can build rivals and allies, potentially. We have craft and item. We have crime. We have gambling. We have relaxation. We have religious services. I don't know how much into that he's going to be. Maybe. I can't really do scribe work or scroll. I could do books, but he can't do like that type of stuff a whole lot right this minute. And he could train. Now, he could train in Crestwood. So this type of train wouldn't be like level training. This would be like him learning a language or learning a craft. And he could just go there to work. So we have... Okay, so we have 9 different possible things on here. So we're going to be rolling the D10, but we're not going to be rolling just a D10 straight. We're actually going to be doing this with some weight. I don't see him doing any spell books or anything of that nature. That doesn't sound like him. I don't see him doing any work because he's never going to go back to the common life. I could see him doing training. I could see him doing gambling. I really don't see him doing crime in a brand new area, in a village, no doubt. But we'll leave that one there. But we're going to put some weight on some other stuff. I see him carousing. He doesn't really have a craft, so he can't do that. So if he were to roll a craft, then we're going to go ahead and have that go to carousing. If he rolls work, he's actually going to go to training. And if he goes to book stuff, he's going to go to research. Because, again, I see that more of a thing than the other. And if he rolls a 10... I'm probably going to go back to carousing, because building up contacts and this type of stuff is important. So here's what he's doing for a week of time that he is off. So we're going to go with 6. So he's going to be doing some research in something. Is he going to be researching the habits of like goblins? No. Is he going to be trying to learn about whatever this location is? Yes. Is he going to look into what that robe is about? Okay, so we're going to go down this robe thing. This is going to take him into the church a little bit. He's going to go and talk to the leader of the shrine. Okay, so we're at Haversford. We have the Shrine of Light. The priest there is considered to be a high priest, per se. And his name is Leofin Cooper. We're going to say this starts on like... we're going to do a little bit of training, get our 2nd level. We're going to come out on... see, it was the 6th when we went in. The 7th we wake up. Let's say it was the 14th. Okay, so he went to meet with the high priest of named Leofin Cooper. Obviously, the reason why he did this is because Brith talked so highly about him, and he felt like he could connect with this guy and not be overly judged. Probably because Brith's history. So let's see how successful this is. First of all, we're going to give him a charisma check to see how well Leofin takes him. So we rolled a 9. We know this is below his charisma, so we know that is good. So he has made success. Now, will this in blue will actually, we'll just keep purple being good. Does Leofin know anything off the top of his head? Yes, he does. He knows that this is the cult of the eye. They refer to it as a cult because it's not one of the main pantheon gods. This is a pantheon type of place. It's not like a monotheistic area where everyone who doesn't worship the main god is considered a cult. Cults are generally, in this situation, not mainstream, lesser known, haven't been proven to be part of a specific pantheon. So they're usually like entities or elementals or fiendish, demonic, something of that nature. If that makes sense. Okay, so what does Tier 1 mean? Tier 1 means that he knows that this robe here, which is a red robe, is not the base level, entry level schmuck in the Cult of Eye. That this one would actually be able to cast magic, or most likely to be able to cast divine magic, that they were a cleric of some nature. The gray robes are the entry-level schmucks and they might be clerics, but they are so low level they can't actually cast magic. Not only do red robes generally cast magic, but they have a mastery over it to such a degree that they're actually able to cast beyond first-level spells generally. So that is what he knows so far. Now, he has 200 gold, as you can see. He doesn't have any need for upgraded armor. He could go carousing, but he doesn't necessarily want to do that either. He has a riding horse. Is there anything else he wants to spend his money on? Yes. Is he wanting to go for specialty gear, like holy war, silver, that type of stuff? No. Is he wanting to go for more of like thief stuff? No. But less of a no. Is he wanting to carry more food and water? No. Is he wanting like upgrades for the horse, like maybe saddlebags and these type of things? Yes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get a few upgrades for that type of stuff. Probably for his backpack. Does he want winter's clothes? Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and make sure he's more well-rounded, has his own tent, these type of things. and I'll just come back to that in the future. Okay, guys, so because I'm deciding to do this sort of by origin, the actual exact order in which I'm doing these is Osgar and Brith. They're going to go to different places potentially. But I wanted to go ahead and kind of give them a chance and knock out the Brigton's Rest all at the same time. And then I'll go over to Haverford. So that's kind of the order in which we're doing this. And this will be the first of these type of videos we're doing. So let's go ahead and go to Brith. So Brith is a cleric. He is from Brigton's Rest. He has a charisma of 10. I went over and discussed that already. We're going to just jump right into this. We're going to give him a charisma check to see how things work out. He has made it by less than 5, but he has got a plus on the modifier. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and roll 2d6 to see if these are rivals or if these are allies. He's going to have 2. He didn't make a negative, so he will get +1 on this dice for the first one. So we have a 12. Okay, we have an ally. Roll again. There's not a huge benefit for that particular thing, but we do have that. All right, now we're going to do another charisma check to see if this one also gets a plus. No, this is going to be negative. Now, he has failed this by less than 10, but he's failed this by more than 5. So this would be a -2 on this dice roll. So he rolled a 7, minus 2 is a 5, and that will be a rival. So we do have our first rival roll. Of course, it's Brith. Why would we not? All right, I'm surprised we didn't have both of them. Let's go ahead and roll for the ally first. 4 and 8 is 12. This is someone who's related to a villain, either known or not known. In this case, they're not working to hinder the PCs. They are working because they don't necessarily approve of the things that they are doing. Okay, so we talked about the fact that allies are spent and turned to neutral members. So in this situation here, we have a ally who's a family member of a villain who is willing to help Brith. Now, how you get that back to being an ally again could be very difficult. If you were to help the villain or not kill the villain or try and get the villain aid or bring peace to the family or whatever the case might be, then maybe you could bring this person back in. But this is generally could be more of like a one shot, and then they just turn into like a neutral party. They're not willing to go against family multiple times. Not someone generally you can go ahead and carouse, buy beers for and get them to come back to you. Very unlikely. This one here is going to be for rivals though. All right, so this rival is going to be 3 plus 1 is 4. So you have a social rival. Is this a social rival over information, assassination, or are they going to betray you? I think we need to save that for later. All right, again, we're going to hold this off, and if they ever go back and this type of stuff could ever become relevant, then we will have something to go off of. This is just one more way that we bring into what a character might be going through and like what's happening outside of the combat, and also the solo play nature of this. I don't know what that is. So going to Brigton's Rest, I could know there's a person who always works against me, but I don't know what their intentions are. We won't know that until it's rolled. So now let's go ahead and look at this chart here. We've got a D10 chart again. We're going to go ahead and see what we're doing. Again, this one here, Brith is not a crafter, so he'll go back to carousing again. He can make a scroll, so if he gets a scroll, he gets it. He does not mind working, so we're going to may leave that on there. But if we get a 10, instead of it being carousing, we're going to have that be a scroll, because I could really see him wanting to increase the amount of scrolls he has. He now has spells, and I think he really wants to utilize it and maybe have like a scroll of bless or something of that nature, or maybe a cure light, so that he can have just a little bit extra healing. So we have a 6 again, so he's also going to be researching. First of all, where is he going? We haven't decided that yet. Is he going to do this right here in Crestwood? Yes. So he's not going to leave Crestwood. He's going to stay right there in the town, and he's going to meet with that person there. Now, is he going to go to the Church of Light, or is he going to go to Lord Reinhold? 1 through 4 is going to be the Church of Light. So he's going to go to Reinhold to see if he can find out who, and what is he going to research? Is he going to research maybe who that wizard was? Ah, yes. So he's concerned about this wizard that tried to take from them, and he wants to know more about it. Will Reinhold know who it is? No. No, he will not. So he's going to spend a week to learn about this wizard and not come up with anything. Okay, so some people might consider that a failed week, and that would be correct. However, I think it's interesting that that's what he did for that period of time. And I think the next time he does that, it probably would earn him a benefit of some nature, particularly if there's new information. If there's no new information, then I don't see how that would help him a whole lot. Okay, guys, so before I go, let me go ahead and do this real quick. We're going to go ahead and decide what we want for, is he going to spend any of his money, or is he going to, what all he's going to do. So let me come over here real quick. All right, so Brith has 200 gold. He's going to tithe, obviously. So we're going to just go ahead and take this down to 180 gold. Because that's just what he does. And we're going to put down here on the 14th, we'll say. Okay, so he tithes 20 gold pieces. Now we're going to have to look at some of the holes that he has for his gear. And we have to ask some questions. Is he going to try and go to plate mail? He's wearing currently a chainmail shirt. Will you go to plate mail? No. He feel like there's better ways for him to spend his money. Is he going to go into more specialty gear for priests? I think this is going to be a stronger yes. And for sure it is. He has a strong no. So I get this as 2 strong numbers and a strong no means that he's going to specialize. So are we going to go into silver, wolfbane type stuff? Are we going to go into mirrors? So silver is 1-2. Wolfbane and that type of stuff is holy water. So wolfbane is going to be 2-3 or 3-4, and then 5-6 will be holy water, and then 7-8 will be like stakes and crosses and other holy symbol type stuff like that. So we're going to go into silver. So silver dagger, but he can have a silvered mirror. Is he going to try and get a mace with some parts of it with silver on it? How far is he going to go? No. Silver on the shield, maybe? Or armor? No. Too gaudy. Okay. Is there anything else he went silver on? No. That's a strong no, too. So I think we're done. We're going to go ahead and get a silver mirror. I think it's 15 gold, but I'll look. And from there, we'll go ahead and just stockpile the rest of this money. Ooh, silver holy symbol. We have a wooden holy symbol. What about a silver one? Yes, that's the other one. So we're going to keep the wooden one, but we're also going to go with a silver holy symbol. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. Okay, guys. So if you like what you saw here, I hope you did. Let me know in the comments if you would do things differently or how you do it. I'm really interested in how other people do it. All of this is adaptation. They talk a lot about the fact that this type of stuff happened in old D&D, the original Dungeons & Dragons, but they really don't have rules for it anywhere. I haven't seen anything on it. Maybe it's in some sort of Dragon magazine or whatever that I haven't got to. That might be specifically for original Dungeons & Dragons, but I think a lot of those type of ones are designed more for 1E AD&D. So I'm trying to do something a little bit different and throw my own version of it on there. So I'm interested to find out what you guys think. Thanks for watching this video. I hope to see you guys next one. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure you hit that little bell for notification for future videos. And keep rolling those dice. Bye.